Recording.
I'm in rock mode. You can see that there. It's got rock, roll, and rain modes. Berlin built, which is true. It's the, I guess it might be a newer factory in Berlin, Germany. Made in Germany. The R18, 2021 BMW R18. This is just the first edition, not the classic. Good looking bikes, very good looking bikes. So this isn't going to be like a review or anything. I'm just recording this for the heck of it, really. Smooth. It's a hefty bike though. You can feel the weight. I mean, I'm used to sport bikes, so solid. I don't think there's any plastic on this bike. It'll turn a little. One of the complaints was that the pegs are so low you can't turn very sharp. This is a new experience for me. I haven't ridden a cruiser type bike, like a legit cruiser, maybe ever. I've ridden like older bikes, but they weren't really cruisers. I've ridden like a Honda Rebel 250 at the driver school, the rider course to get your license, but that doesn't really count. It's very smooth. It would take some getting used to for sure. I've been nothing but sport bikes for the past decade, so now I just noticed on this bumpy road the suspension, it does only have a little bit of suspension in the rear. It looks like a hardtail, but it's not. And I think the brakes work in tandem, so when you pull the front brake, the rear brake engages also to a less degree, I guess. Not a lot of engine brake. For such a big twin cylinder, you would think it would have more engine brake. It's got the right amount, I'd say. This is turning into a review video. I'm just keeping myself company, basically. Now, I don't want to turn too sharp and scrape the pegs. Well, made that turn. So yeah, you can turn a little bit on these. It seems like every video I watched of someone riding it, they were scraping the pegs. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to do, but I was thinking in my head like you can't really turn it all, like it's some kind of chopper or something, you know. It's pretty low to the ground. But yeah, the suspension, the rear suspension, I think has like 3 inches of travel. So the rear is, it's a stiff ride, but it's not bad. You want a stiff ride so you get better feedback from the road anyway, but on a long trip, might get annoying, I don't know. Watch out for debris in the road. Yeah, it does. When you re-engage the clutch, you can feel the bike shift from the big motor, the horizontally opposed boxer motor, the pistons, the big pistons, and when you start it, it does. It shakes from side to side. It's kind of neat. Yeah, so it's kind of a stiff ride. I don't know how adjustable the suspension is. You might be able to soften it up or whatever, but I'm not sure if it's adjustable or not. So you can change the digital display to show your RPMs. I was curious about that. Is my blinker still on? No? So yeah, it does have the gear position indicator. But yeah, you can change the digital part of the display to show different things. Like the tachometer would be a good one. So are we turning left, I guess? Not bad though for a cruiser. I mean, it's a nice experience. Luckily there's no rain yet. It's supposed to rain later today. It's just overcast and windy. Do a lifesaver head check there. I think in the UK they refer to those as lifesavers. I might be mistaken, but I've heard some guys say that in the UK. Over here we might say head check. In America, I'm in Florida, by the way, Jacksonville, Florida. I feel like my motovlog's taken the attitude of the cruiser. It's just kind of laid back and easygoing, not forcing any thoughts or opinions or anything. Just kind of rolling with the flow. Really enjoying my new RF14 showy helmet, by the way. It's the new model that just came out a few months ago, replacing the RF1200. We're about to do a highway test. So it looks like because you're so low in the bike and the headlights up high and stuff that it'll block most of the wind, I'm thinking. As long as you have a good aerodynamic helmet, you should be fine. Fourth gear, third gear. These big twin cylinders like to be a little lower RPM. I could see myself on one of these. You can lean enough on these. They've given a misperception, like they've given a bad impression that you can't turn very sharp on these things. I mean, it's not a track bike. Brake lights. I think, you know, the other thing is like the forward controls that people like to have on their cruisers and you can't do on these. I don't, you know, I imagine if there were forward controls, like it would be more comfortable on the highway mainly, because you'd have to kind of hold yourself up. With the foot pegs where they are, you can kind of sit more naturally. But even then I can feel like, okay, so that's better. I just scooted back in the seat a little bit and it propped me forward. I felt like I had to kind of hold my upper body up with my my hips. But yeah, this is fine. You can scoot back a little and lean forward, and yeah, it's not a problem. This is actually more comfortable than I was expecting. I feel like I'm on something special for sure, you know. It's a solid machine. I like it. And I imagine most people would. This is really my first time riding an actual cruiser. Okay, so I just remembered, like 8 years ago, I rented a Harley Davidson Road King from the Harley dealership and rode it to Orlando for Halloween Horror Nights by myself. But I guess maybe that's the cruiser, the Road King. That's not really a cruiser, is it? I think they're called full dressers or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure if all Harleys are considered cruisers. I mean, the V-Rod was kind of in the cruiser style, but a sporty cruiser. But yeah, just you know, it's like they say that China is becoming more like the U.S. and the U.S. is becoming more like China. Well, it looks like BMW is becoming more like Harley, and Harley's becoming more like BMW because Harley Davidson just released recently their new adventure bike, which will be competition for the world-renowned famous BMW GS. But I have yet to see anything about an electric Ducati or BMW. Harley Davidson just came out with the electric live wire, I think it's called, like a year or two ago. guy in front's not wearing good shoes. He's wearing just regular little low profile sneakers. That's not cool. My coworker is wearing the same. I just realized. Yeah, you can actually lean over a little ways on one of these. I didn't think you could. I'm in 5th gear. Let's see if there's a 6th gear. There is a 6th gear. Smooth in 6th gear at 65 miles per hour. It's pretty freaking smooth. It'll let you know when it's high up in the RPMs. It'll get a little rough, and when you give it some beans, when you give it a little throttle, there's some engine vibration there. I mean, like a rumble, not just some annoying vibration. These bikes are very quiet though. You can get the upgraded Vance and Hines exhaust, but I'm not sure that makes it much louder. They're never going to be, unless you put maybe straight pipes, they're not going to be as loud as a Harley, not nearly as loud as a Harley Davidson. Which is good in some ways, because you know you won't piss off your neighbors. The bike wants to twist when I downshift and let out the clutch from the big motor. I'm enjoying this. And I am personally considering one of these. I'm tired of worrying about getting a speeding ticket or anything, you know. And I'm getting older. I'm not in sport shape anymore. I kind of just want to cruise off into the sunset, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my 40s now. Should get one of these and just cruise off into the sunset, figuratively speaking. And these bikes are built to last too. They're solid, very solid built bikes. We've seen 1200s, the 1200 Boxer motors at the dealership in for service with 300,000 miles on them. Like the reminds me of the Subaru car, the WRX, and the Impreza, the Subaru Legacy. They have the Boxer motor. It's built to last, man. It's a bulletproof, strong engine. I think it's got automatic turn signal cancellation, maybe. Fourth gear at 30 miles an hour is no good. The bobber, I hear that the bobber version of this is due to be released in August of this year. And it's actually a kit. It's an add-on kit, which gives you the fatter tires and the single seat with the bobber fender in the rear. It looks badass. You got to look it up on Google or whatever. The R18 bobber. This guy's having problems. Alright, so it's not a sport bike as far as acceleration goes. I mean, I had a KTM 1290 Super Duke R for 3 years, so I'm not that impressed with the acceleration, but I'm sure it's enough. It's probably the right amount of acceleration. So we're arriving back at the dealership here. BMW Motorcycles of Jacksonville. We also carry Ducati, and we just recently started carrying Royal Enfield motorcycles. Also, we have a wide variety of boats, Pursuit, Regulator, Key West. There's a lot of people here now. Good to see, because an hour ago there was nobody here. A little behind the scenes. Yeah, so it's a better experience than I was expecting.